It didn't already counted down. You are alive.
All right, I guess we are live, Miss Lewis.
Yes,
So I am
ma'am.
going to, if you are out there in Facebook land, if you can see Miss Lewis and I, please let me know. Let us know. But we are 24 Hours of Grace. That's our new channel on YouTube. So we'll figure out how to get it going on YouTube, and we'll be broadcasting from there. But we are Grandparents Raising America's Children to Excel Inc., better known as Project Grace. I'm the executive director, and Miss Linda Lewis is the administrator, assistant admin. And so, but she's also a grandparent raising grandchildren. And so I wanted to talk to her a little bit about how it's going um, as a grandparent who's raising grandchildren, and then them not being in school right now. But before you get started on that, Miss Lewis, if you can tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your grandbabies.
Oh, well, my name is Miss Linda Lewis. I'm 68 years old and I'm raising two great grandchildren, a 6 and a 7 year old, and I've been had them since birth. It ain't been a smooth highway, but it ain't been too bad till now. Corona shows up and it coroned out everything, especially when it coroned out schools. But I think the
Yeah,
most,
I can imagine.
and then I'm here with them 24/7. That's 20, and I haven't been out the house in a month. I have been in my house for a month, so I'm about nuts. But I think the hardest thing it is being a
Right, because right
grandparent.
before that, you were in the hospital, right?
Yeah, I'm about ready to go back if I keep this up. But I think the hardest. I think the hardest thing going through this particular thing in our life is they don't really understand what's going on. And you can only break it down so far for a little kid. And my 6 year old think he's on punishment, the reason he can't go to school or go outside. Now the
Mm,
7 year old, she understands just a little bit better about corona being a disease
mhm,
and you have to stay away from people. But they sent us packets home to teach them, and instead of them being like in class for 6 hours, I only do 2 hours a piece a day with them because that's all I can tolerate. They have
mhm.
the teachers call 3 times a week and talk to them and ask them questions, and they can draw pictures, and I can text it to the teacher and stuff. But the anxiety level is has became really really high for me because I have no kind of free time. The only free time I got is when they go to bed at night, and then the 7 year old,
Mhm.
when bedtime comes, she can find everything in the world to talk to me about, pray about, sing about, dance about. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Far as the food situation,
Yeah.
so far we've done fine with the food. I was uh, able to, pay my bills as usual, being that I'm on a fixed income. So nothing like that has changed for me. It's just the being in the house and not being able
Okay.
to move around and go to church and stuff. And my kids love church. So this Sunday, I'm advising our grandparents that are people that go to church and worship Easter, just do a little Easter program in your house with your kids. Read the Easter story to them. Go ahead and color the eggs and fix up the candy. And if they got baskets, if they little for baskets, make their little baskets for them. Don't let nothing make it as normal as you can make it without them having to go out the house. Back to
Right.
you, Miss Long.
So how hard has it been with the fact that ma'am,
Uh huh.
well, how hard has it been for you as far as food, when you say food, because normally they eat at school during the day. So has that caused an issue?
Well, it's caused somewhat an issue because Well, I only had to prepare one meal a day and a snack. I'm having to do 2 meals a day and two snacks. Well, 3 meals a
Mhm.
day and two snacks a day. And so I've learned over the years peanut butter and jelly will hit the spot every time. But I really wasn't
Yep.
prepared for the breakfast stuff. That's what it's hard to keep breakfast food around because kids love milk and they love cereal and stuff. So that's been kind of a
Right.
problem for as food is concerned, is the milk and the breakfast food. And then again there's lunch too. So I've always got to try to figure out something for them to have for lunch. So I try to do sandwiches or some kind of soup. Today I cooked a pot of brown beans and fried chicken. So, and cornbread. So that was supper and that'll probably be lunch tomorrow.
Okay. So definitely the way mama raised you, back in the day, mama taught you how to stretch a meal. So that's really coming in handy, right?
It sure is coming in handy. I never thought I'd seen the day I'd be having to do it like this. But I
Well,
know a
the
lot
thing
of.
about it, when I was raising my kids, I guess we kind of got a little lag a little bit. But the one thing when I was raising my children, when I was back home in Memphis, and I was a housewife, and my ex-husband was an over-the-road truck driver. So, I had money. However, I used to just fix meals like just beans and cornbread because I always just kind of wanted to make sure that, because one day I just felt like that I never knew when one day that would be all we had. So I wanted to make sure that if that time ever came, then it wouldn't be an issue. It would just be, just another meal that
A
they were
normal
used
meal.
to. And I guess it was a good thing that I did that because, I ended up having to leave Memphis and just had the six babies. And a lot of times that was all, I could afford to feed them. So, those were kind of things that I just automatically just did. I don't know why I did it, but I did, and it worked out in the end. And of course, half of them won't eat beans nowadays, but that's okay. If they get hungry enough, they'll eat them.
Well, I found out buying rice and oatmeal and stuff. My kids love oatmeal. They love cream of wheat and they like rice, which are good breakfast, meals for them. And they're fillers. They fill them up. And if more of the grandparents would just remember how their parents raised them and how it was always potatoes and rice and beans and oatmeal and stuff in the
Right,
house, the kids will never be hungry.
right,
They got it where you can go to the schools, not tomorrow, but starting back Monday and pick up breakfast and lunch. But to me, that would be a risk factor at my age just to get out to go do that. So I'd rather just stay here and cook the oatmeal or
right.
whatever I've got and feed them.
Right. I know my grandson Jace, he loves rice. I mean, because I'll ask him if he comes over, I'll ask him, do you want a waffle or a Pop Tart or something like that? And he'll say, well, Granny, do you have any rice? And I laugh to myself because every morning in Mississippi with my grandmother every summer, rice was going to be on the menu for breakfast. And so I guess I didn't just kind of pass that along to my grandson, and I laugh to myself sometimes that sometimes the old ways are not bad ways, and they come in handy
Yes.
when you are dealing with times like these. Yes, ma'am. So, but I just want to have us jump on tonight and just kind of talk about, what issues you may be having. What about, so you say your bills have kind of been the same?
Yeah, they've been pretty much the same. I haven't had any problems so far with them.
Okay,
And I
okay.
just
What about, What about technology? Are your grandchildren, are they having to utilize any type of technology
Well,
for their work?
they're supposed to use the computer, but grandma ain't tech that. So I've been trying to get one of my
You're
daughters
on
to,
this live stream.
I've been trying to get, we've been trying to get my computer set up so because Cherokee is the one that they go now. My grandson, he's my son, and he's my great grandson, but he's my son. We use the phone, and every day at 10 o'clock, his teacher comes on live on the phone, and she talks to her class. And of course, he talks back, but she can't hear him, but he thinks she does, and she tells them what to do and how to do their different maths and things. And so he thinks that she hears him, and that's fine as long as he, get it done. But with Cherokee, we're trying to get it fixed where she can talk backwards and forwards to her teacher, and because they only come on 3 times a week, and then
Okay.
twice a week they have like teachers aides to call you, and if you have a problem with a lessons, if the parent have a problem with the lesson, they can help you so you can help them, or else they'll just get on the phone with the kid and help the kid. And that's one thing I like about the school, because they are going above and beyond to try to make sure these kids get this learning, and the basic things that they want them to learn is math and reading. And so far, I don't have a problem at all with
Hmm.
Cherokee. She's just good with both. Marco's excellent with math, but this readings, we've took all week to read
Hmm.
about Mad Sam and Dad Sam or somebody. But today he finally read the book all the way through. After every day we had him to write the words down 5 times and repeat it until when he see it, he know what the word is. These are some of his sight words. So what I do is add an extra sight word every day to his
Okay.
homework. I'd rather be sleeping or watching
Okay.
TV though.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine being a grandparent raising grandchildren. Like I said, I posted earlier, I'm not understanding the young parents why they are complaining about their children being at home and having to teach their children, and I'm not understanding that. But I can understand a grandparent who is raising grandchildren. At a time when you thought you were going to be in your golden years, and now here you are trying to make sure a 6 and a 7-year-old get homework done. So I can understand that, because I love my grandchildren dearly, but at some point in time, I just kind of start getting irritated, and I laugh at myself, because I'm like, okay, back in the day this wouldn't bother me, but and they're just kids being kids, and that's what you have to kind of understand. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, what, my patience level is short nowadays. So I can, only imagine having them all day, every day, and then not having to get a break when they're at school.
Also,
So, I just want to
grandparents,
jump on and
I would like to tell the grandparents another good thing while we're going through this. Make them get up and get dressed in the morning, just like they're going to school. Make them get dressed, feed them breakfast. Then you choose the time that you want to do their classes. But try to keep the routine going, because even though summer's going to be here, school is going to start back eventually. And mine still go to bed the same time at night. I've tried to keep everything as normal as I can keep it.
that's good. That's good. So, any other words of advice for grandparents who are raising their grandchildren before we end the call?
Well, I just want them to keep tuning in to us, because we do hear about different places that's doing food or water, or having people that can call if you're having a problem with your grandchild not wanting to study. There are different numbers that you can call and get help with that. Even though it'll be over the phone, at least you'll have some kind of backup, because sometimes when kids get out of school, they think they really don't understand what's going on in their world right now. especially if you got the younger grandchildren. And the
Right.
teenagers are almost just as bad, but the younger ones can't grasp the concept that I can't see my teacher today or my best best friend at school. So that it's kind of it's hard on them too. It really is.
Right. Right.
But that's all I
Right.
want to say tonight.
Okay. Well, Miss Lewis, I really appreciate you. All right. So I appreciate you sharing your experience with this whole COVID-19 ordeal. And like Miss Lewis said, we'll be coming on giving different information. Some days, she may just get on and give information. Some days I just may get on and give information. But what we will probably be going live or uploading videos from our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is 24 Hours of Grace. And so if you could just go on and subscribe to our channel, and sometimes we'll post on Facebook that we'll be going live through YouTube, or we'll be uploading a video in YouTube for you to view. But again, Miss Lewis, thank you for attending this evening. And I told you, Facebook world, if it was a will, if there was a way, there was going to be a will, and I was going to figure it out tonight before the night was over with.
And
And
she
so I did
did.
find a platform, Be Live. Yeah, not sure how well it's gonna work because it seems to have a lag in it. So I just got to figure out why that is and if that can be corrected. But I never give up at all. So
At
good
all.
night to everyone. Good night,
Good night.
Lewis. And I will definitely talk to you on tomorrow. Love you.
Okay. Love you too.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.